The Boston Tea Party was on the climatic events leading up to the American Revolution. The Boston Tea Party occurred in 1773. However, the events leading up to it began back in 1767. One of the climatic events was
Act of 1767. King George and the British Parliament applied taxes to the colonies for paper, paint, lead, glass, and tea.
I am King George III, and I hereby declare that the colonies will pay a tax on paper, paint, lead, glass, and tea.
American colonists claimed that they were being taxed without representation. Their rallying cry was,
"No taxation without representation!" March 5th, 1770, the English Parliament rescinded the Townshend Act and removes all of the taxes except the tax on tea. King George III says,
I think that I changed my mind. I will no longer tax paper, paint, lead, and glass, but the tax on tea shall remain. The colonists drink so much tea that I can make a fortune on the taxes.
1773. British Parliament authorizes the Tea Act of 1773, which gave the British East India Company the right to ship its tea directly to North America, where the colonists would have the right to pay the taxes on the tea.
King George says,
The British East India Company has a surplus of tea. We will ship it to the colonies and force them to pay the tax on it. I will make even more money.
November 28, 1773, the Dartmouth arrives in Boston Harbor carrying 114 chests of tea. A meeting is called at Faneuil Hall where the Bostonians demand that the tea be returned.
Do you think the tea should be returned?
Yes, I do believe it should be returned.
I think it's perfect where it is.
So do you want the tea to be returned?
No. December 15th, 1773, the Elainer and Beaver arrive at Boston Harbor. Both are filled with chests of tea. Where are we going? December 16th, 1773, the Bostonians meet at the Old South Meeting House. The Bostonians decide to prevent the East India tea from being landed, stored, sold, or consumed. I believe the East India tea should be prevented from being landed.
Yes, I also believe it should be prevented from being sold, stored, or consumed. At the end of the meeting, the crowd streams down into the street, chasing 30 to 50 men dressed as Indians down to Griffin's Wharf. The men dressed as Indians board the ships and proceed to dump 342 chests of tea into the sea.
March 1774, the British Parliament closes the port of Boston until the East India Company is reimbursed for its losses.
However, the event called the Boston Tea Party had already started the forces of the American Revolution in motion. The next stop was total independence from Great Britain. Boston Tea Party.
Act of 1760. Bobby!
March 5th, 1770, the English Parliament re-signs the Townshend Act and removes the possible tax.
1773. British Parliament authorizes the Tea Act of 1773, which gave the British East... I messed up. 1773. Oh my god, no, I pulled my hair away from my face.
Stop.
Yeah, Bluebirds are like